Welcome everyone to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your host, DB Smiley. Let me make sure that everything is working correctly. Yes, it is. So, well, sort of. Game screen not loading. One sec. There we go. And I'm coming to you with a match of House of Chez versus Would Tap That. And if you'll give me 1 second, I actually forgot to change a couple settings, and I can't change them now. So we'll be right back as I get that set up here. But moving into the match, House of Chez versus Would Tap That, two Division East teams. House of Chez with a domination victory last week. Would Tap That getting dominated by a very good two calculated to throw teams. So I think this is still a pretty even matchup. I could see either team winning. Both teams have kind of been around for a bit. At least as players. Would Tap That being a new team, but I've recognized quite a few of the players from this match. We'll see. Yeah, so Gold Dan going to be the first ban. Now, this is Battlefield of Eternity, so that's an interesting ban. Kind of surprised to see that one on this map. I'd expect to see a Li Ming first or something like that, but there we go. Greymane going to be banned out. A bit more traditional ban for this map. Trying to eliminate really one of the best burn heroes. If you're going to target burn with the bans, which at this level of play, DEs, you tend to see that over kind of the more quote-unquote meta heroes. You could see an Artanis ban. You could see a Raynor ban. You could see a Hanzo ban, although Hanzo not nearly as illustrious at the single-target burn as he once was. Going to see a Joanna ban, so it looks like they're targeting some comforts on the side of House of Chez. What's House of Chez going to counter with? Are they still going to target burn? First pick on this does go over Battlefield of Eternity. As I showed earlier, this is House of Chez's map. We have bans on Towers of Doom, Volskaya Foundry, Cursed Hollow, and Tomb of the Spider Queen. What's this ban going to be, though? Let's take a gander. Okay, it's going to be in a noob ban. It's fairly standard, all things considered. Vala gonna be the first pick here by Night. Vala, strong on the map. Got some buffs recently in terms of HP pull. Couple other talents, couple underperforming talents, but that HP buff it's a big difference just because it puts Vala in the threshold of HP where she isn't as easily 100 to 0'd by as many heroes. But ETC Li Ming, there's the Li Ming we talked about earlier. Good target onto the map, possibly going the Li Ming early, worried about Mage Choke potentially, but ETC is really starting to come back strong into this meta. Stukov Arthas. So Stukov, taking him over some heroes like Tyrande, or Ana, or Anduin, who might be traditionally a bit better onto Vala, trying to keep her alive. My issue with Stukov with Vala is Vala kind of wants a single target heal, that especially a burst heal, just because it can 20% to 100-er. And Stukov doesn't really have that. He's an AoE healer. He struggles with separation and with single target damage, and they already have the ETC Li Ming. That's it. Gives you a Mosh Interrupt. Lets you deal with stage dive with a shove. Denying the Ariel, that's been a very common pickup for House of Chez based on some of my scouting, as we've seen. Trying to get that off the map, trying to not have to deal with the Ariel. It's really more just a comfort ban. That explains also the Gold Dan ban. They're just really worried about that kind of combos. We'll see if House of Chez can flex to something else here. Tyrande, there's the Tyrande, and the Alarak. So a lot of CC potential. Alarak into an ETC, Alarak Telekinesis to separate, ETC Power Slide, Lunar Flare follow-up, Discord Strike, and then a Face Melt for just further CC. It's a lot of CC, it's a lot of separation, and it makes me really worried about the Stukov on the side of Would Tap That. Because all those things Stukov's really going to struggle with. Once he gets 16 Super Strain, it's better, it's not great. But there's the Yrel Raynor, so both have knockbacks that could help limit how many times people actually get separated. Nice bulky front line, too, with a lot of self-sustain. But if Arthas gets silenced out, it's going to be hard for himself to heal. Yrel also will need to be able to cast ult to stay alive if she gets too separated. Last pick coming in. I expect a front line or a solo lane. Malthael. It's a solo lane. So we'll see what happens. Excited for this match. Should be good. In terms of comp, I'd say burn is actually quite even. Vala Q build late game will burn faster, I think. But early game, I actually think I give the edge to House of Chez in terms of burn onto the Immortal. We'll see how that plays out, though, as we head into map number 1 of this series. So, just real quick, taking a look at those maps again. We saw bans, as we mentioned, would tap that, the red team, House of Chez, the blue team. We saw bans onto Towers, Volskaya, Tomb, and Cursed Hollow. So that leaves up 6 maps that are pickable. The first one being picked, Battlefield of Eternity. Hopefully we'll see 2 more maps tonight. But, you know, we may only see 1. Always possible. Best of 3 series being what they are. But as we head into the match here, it's going to be a good one. On the left, we're going to have House of Chez. It's going to be, and I actually need to fix one setting real quick, as I have this on full screen, and I actually have to do windowed full screen. But on the left, we're going to have Caribou, going to be playing Tyrande Flash, going to be on the Alarak. Chez Mix, going to be playing ETC. Mariners 005, going to be playing Li Ming, and up in the top, no dice on Malthael. And in the bottom, it's Wood Tap that. Going to have Night Knight on the Vala, Zilla on the Stukov, Shadonis on the Arthas. I'm just going to call it Barcode, even though it's like ill, something like that. On Raynor, and it's going to be Colonel Pants using Yrel up in the top lane. So Malthael Yrel, matchup first. Already a separation onto Raynor. Oh, it's very low. Good heal by the Stukov. And that's going to be a save. As we look at the talents, we are seeing the Telekinesis, Ruthless Momentum being taken here by Alarak. Prog Rock, kind of a standard pick for ETC. Could have seen the block party, though, with the type of auto attacks. Kind of surprised we didn't. Alun's chosen, of course, because, of course, it's Alun's chosen. Ooh, but there's a separation again. Raynor stepping up just a little too much there. That's twice. The first time he got away with it, the second time not so much. Now, worth noting, Exterminator, so Raynor going to have a lot of Immortal burn here. Going to help out a lot. Definitely as it gets stacked up, burn should favor, especially after Vala gets stacked. Would tap that, but they got to stay alive, and right now they're not doing the best job of that. Arthas needs to be careful of the CC. Good Li Ming follow-ups, by the way, whenever Raynor has gotten separated out. There's the separation again onto Arthas, and Arthas just getting absolutely melted. Goes down. Hunter's Mark helps seal that deal. And that's already 2 pickoffs in this bot lane. Meanwhile, up in the top, Malthael doing a good job zoning out Colonel Pants. Being quite the bother. Camp here being taken by the members of House of Chez. Stukov, by the way, going with the Spine Launcher. Does give up some Immortal burn, actually, for that, because it doesn't speed up his attack speed, so he just does less auto attack damage. But the idea here being able to just get some extra damage. But once again, Arthas getting separated out, and the combos really are just there. And at the rate it's going, I mean, this ETC is being quite a bother. Shadonis, I mean, losing 75% of the health easy there. And, you know, as Alarak can get stacked up on Sadism, that's only going to get worse. And as we see the Lunar Flare quest. We do see the speed medal, so going for the movement speed. Orb build out of Ming. That one, well, not necessarily orb build, but certainly triumvirate. Pardon me. We'll see how much value that gets. Die Alone up here in the top for Malthael, making him just quite formidable in the lane. Both camps being picked up. Flash going to Hearth. Vision going to show, you know, they're on the camp. That's fairly obvious. But meanwhile, Arthas still kind of clearing up this last Impaler. Impaler's got buffed recently, but I just haven't really noticed much from it. The Impalers just still feel quite weak. But would tap that now. Looking like they want to set up defensively rather than in a burn, but they're not really committing to the defense. I would have liked to have just seen their DPS already ready to just straight burn here, as they've actually just basically given up very little. They've gotten very little for, you know, they give it up for nothing, 50%. So they're only down about 20% right now, though. Good burn. At this point, I think they need to just burn the Immortal as much as they can. Looks like they're going to see an engage, though. Malthael up at the top, so they can push in for a bit. It's going to give Vala some time to get some burn up. See how much they equalize. Alarak stepping up, looking for a target, possibly that Stukov. There's the stun potentially onto Alarak. He does get stunned, but the silence there on the Colonel Pants. Good Lunar Flare follow-up. Colonel Pants very low, but so is Shesmix. Shesmix, oh, with the root into the silence. Gonna kill two. Absolutely fantastic root by the Arthas there with the follow-up silence from Zilla, and that is just what the Doctor ordered for Wood Tap. That is, they get a double kill. Now they need to zone. Li Ming is going to poke in. Colonel Pants currently not healthy enough really to soak that, but this looks like Wood Tap that is going to get this first Immortal. That's going to get them a couple extra globes too. It's always good. Everyone loves globes. And it's going to be in the bot lane. We are going to see Yrel split up towards the top and this Malthael grabbing that soak. Couple minions missed. Malthael did rotate up early, get soak, get about a half level lead, but we'll see if Wood Tap that can get that back here with some damage. Pushing in now onto the wall. The race difference between these teams is huge. Yeah, I mean, what I would say is once Volley gets stacked, it's obvious that the race heavily, heavily favors Would Tap that, but they don't have horrible race. Although I expected Li Ming to go Q build, and now Li Ming going W build, that changes that calculus. To me, this is a map you go Q build on, so that I think really changed my calculus. But you still have Tyrande, and you still have Hunter's Mark, and Malthael, so that's quite good burn. But meanwhile, Shadonis trying to retreat as the Immortal dies. Lunar Flare comes in, Shadonis walks into it, but a good root and a silence once again. Zilla doing a really good job following up on Shadonis' roots with that silence. It's kind of like an early level 13 combo, you know? ETC now zoning. Looks like they want to get a pick. Vala, though, spotting it out with the multi-shot. Wall going down here. So it's actually almost even here in bot lane. Obviously, there's still one cannon tower, but it's low enough. Li Ming could probably take it out with a combo. Meanwhile, both fighters in the top lane being quite kind of passive at the moment, waiting for their waves to help. It's an interesting matchup between the two. I like Shadonis going with Icebound Fortitude here to help with this CC combo. Let's see if it comes out. Night-Night. Night-Night goes Night-Night as the CC combo is there. Vala stepping up not exactly at the best time. And getting CC chain. Now Zilla in a bit of trouble. Slows have to come in looking for the Lunar Flare. Good dodge there by Zilla. Right now, though, the laning phase, it's the laning phase has been very much in favor of House of Chez. If that double kill doesn't happen, I think they have a pretty big lead in this game. If that double kill over the point doesn't happen. Let's see. Here we go. Moving on to the point. Already we're seeing burn by House of Chez. Meanwhile, no burn yet for the members of Would Tap that. And they're actually going to invade aggressively here once again. Trying to look for the root. Root is a miss. Silence there onto ETC. ETC going to be able to power slide away. Flash trying to get onto the Stukov on the backline. Now getting slowed here by the Stukov and the Arthas. Flash is going to go down. That is a kill onto Alarak. Li Ming looking for halftime. Trying to get some damage over the wall. Needs to be careful though. And does actually push halftime. So good job there by Li Ming. And now this is going to be Would Tap that, just going straight burn. Are we going to see House of Chez contest rather than just try to get close? Alarak is not up. They are taking a fight 4v5. They do have the level 10s. I'm worried if it's enough, though. Here comes No Dice moving in onto Colonel Pants. Good silence there, forcing ETC away. The stun going to hit onto Arthas. Good Lunar Flare collects too with the Starfall. This could be bad as Alarak's about to join the fight. Would Tap that in a lot of trouble. Single man Mosh. Going to get interrupted, but it's still enough to help secure the kill onto Shadonis. Level 10 still not here for Would Tap that. Yeah, red's been a little bit late getting on these immortals, but we'll see if that improves. But already, looks like blue should get their immortal. House of Chez gonna get this immortal. Some damage coming in here from Barcode. Barcode getting separated out. There is the combo again. Doesn't exactly hit the Lunar Flare. A little bit of a miscommunication. Gonna enable Raynor to get away. Good, though, Elune Chosen. And Elune Chosen is just so valuable on this map because you don't even need to step up to auto-attack heroes. You can just sit there and auto-attack the boss. You can basically stand still turret heal, and the healing throughput is just absolutely insane when you don't have to worry about where your next auto-attack is coming from. So Tyrande, Elune Chosen getting a lot of value here. Shrine gonna go, or Immortal gonna go top the healthier lane. As we see solo laners go bot. Level 10's now here. We do have the Rain of Vengeance, the Ardent Defender. I always forget the second word of that. It is actually going to be Syndragosa. Syndragosa used defensively here, but doesn't really phase House of Chez as they kind of just like, all right, wait for the slow to end. Now let's engage. Hyperion also blown there. Sukov does have the massive shove. Ooh, separation there on the Barcode. There's the Starfall. Barcode is very low. Rain of Vengeance trying to peel out, but now Shadona's going to be the target. There's the Lunar Flare. ETC, is he going to go for the separation? No. Oh, there's the separation, though, from Alarak, but Barcode very low in the back, down below 300 health. Stukov trying to spread those heals, but it's just one of those, like, team, I need to get healthy, but we need to get on this Immortal. Immortal does go down, but big structural lead here for House of Chez. But Yrel getting a kill onto Malthael in the bot lane, and that's absolutely huge. Malthael did go last rights, didn't get the kill. Yeah, I was kind of... Syndragosa makes sense if they win the Immortal. They're gonna... If they can win an Immortal, they can... If they can get... I mean, they need to get this wall down, I think, before they win Immortal. And if they get this wall down, they win the Immortal, they Syndragosa... they get the fort. They Syndragosa the keep. They can equalize, get a keep value, but you know we'll have to see. That is true. I mean, I think Army of the Dead's a better pick, but I'm just trying to give them the benefit of just like what their thought process is. They are playing a we need to win the Immortal and push hard comp, but there's a separation once again onto Raynor and Shadonas. You know he doesn't really have hard CC. He just has slow CC, except for the root. You know, and it's kind of hard to peel with the root. So you just need Barcode just not stepping up as much. But this is also going to enable 5-man bottom, by the way. You're out clearing the top, but level 13's here. We are going to get a siege camp bot. Both bruiser camps up. Neither team's starting it yet. We are seeing House of Chez rotate to their bruiser, as we are seeing Arthas rotate to the bruiser, but now deciding against it. So bruiser will not get picked up here in time. By the members. Ooh, are they looking for the root combo? There's the slow, blows the self-unstoppable, gonna get away, good self-unstoppable there by No Dice to avoid the Rain of Vengeance. But no bruiser here picked up by Would Tap That. Unfortunate because now there's an unequal push in the bot lane, it's not being matched top, and top lane's the lane they want to get value. Further with that catapult in the top lane, they're kind of losing a stalling game right now. This is a problem. Because there's macro pressure in both lanes, you really can't stall. You need to push up and take your fight. But into this comp, this is not a comp you want to push up into. Now, Colonel Pants can be very brave. Colonel Pants, because you have that Ardent Defender. But keep in mind, the longer you're stalling, I mean, now Colonel Pants having to rotate down to bot to deal with this bruiser, and this is just going to enable House of Chez to push in. And if Shadonas doesn't back up, he could absolutely be in trouble. There's a massive shove, trying to peel out the Malthael. Malthael going to come back in with that movement speed. And Lehman going to get some burn. That's about 25%, maybe close to 30% already. But, keep in mind that catapult's still top. Syndragosa are going to be used early here, trying to get the engage. Alarak getting a double Discord strike, almost got a triple. There's the counter strike, but Alarak is in a bad spot, very low, but the Mosh could save him. There is no Mosh interrupt. There it comes now, but 3 people were in that, very low. Last rights, gonna claim the Arthas. No Dice, though, extremely low as well. Actually, Ray strikes into the silence. Alarak trying to go ham on the Barcode on the backline. 1-for-1 trade. This is going to let Would Tap That step up to get some pressure, but at the meantime, I mean, they've lost some structural value here on this top, and this catapult going to do more. Now halfway down, and there's the halftime show, but ETC going to come back in, and Barcode is going to go down. Needed to just walk away sooner or at least get a peel, but now Yrel, being the chase target, is Yrel going to get away? Massive shove used to try to peel. It's a swing and a miss. Stukov with no movement speed. Could have gotten power slid on, but looks like they're walking away to get that burn. Li Ming going to try to help with this burn here. About equal on the burn at this point, but once Vala gets onto this, that's going to change very quickly. This should be Wood Tap that's immortal now. It's getting close, actually, because it's only the Vala. And actually, it's not Wood Tap that immortal. It's House of Chez immortal. So, it's going to be an immortal bot. Already softened up here. Meanwhile, you had Raynor clearing the top. Now Yrel going to switch. But this fort is forfeit. They're going to have to defend at the keep wall. And with the Starfall, it's going to be awkward to engage, because Starfall can just get dropped in that gate. You almost want your gate to just die quickly. Looking like they want to flank here. Ooh, and Barcode is way out in front. Needs to be behind the gate. This is a situation where you just want someone to hang back and not get picked off here. That's really a top priority. Shield is down on the Immortal. There's a separation on to Vala, and Vala is down. Cinder Ghosts are coming out. There's the self-unstoppable. ETC going to get rooted, but they're going to walk away. And this is a 5v4 engage. The Immortal is dropping very quickly to this Raynor, but Raynor needs to be careful now. He could get separated. There's a separation onto Zilla. Looks like the Mosh again catching Arthas. Arthas going to... Or not Arthas, excuse me, Yrel. Yrel going to pop that Ardent Defender. Shadona's actually going to enable the re-engage and the kill onto Malthael. So 1-for-1 trade here and actually a successful defense of the keep. So that's a good start there by Wood Tap. That they need to grab level 16s, but then they have an opportunity in this match. Are they going to move on to their Bruiser camp? I think it's too early for that. I think you want to actually take top siege or maybe even invade bot siege. Right now, kind of unsure split decision making. Looks like they are going to take their Bruiser. This is going to be a siege camp taking bot, though. And actually a rotation already coming to top. There's the Owl. You're all going to get hit by that. And actually, House of Chez is going to get control of the map, it looks like. Or are we going to see a fight on this top lane? Level 16s aren't here. I don't like this fight by Wood Tap at the moment. They need to actually just send someone down and clear bot and just deal with this. But that means their Bruiser camp is going to basically be wasted. And so I think you really want to hold that Bruiser camp until later, especially right before the Shrine. Bruiser camp up for House of Chez as well, so they can get even more pressure in that bot lane. And just kind of keep shell gaming Wood Tap that. So now Wood Tap that has to clear the camp in the bottom lane. Now they're going to have to go up. They're going to have to clear the camp on top. Then you can go and get the bottom, hold it, cap it right before the Shrine starts. You force kind of the rotate bottom, top, bottom. And you keep Wood Tap that moving, not engaging, even though now it's equal talent here. But it looks like Wood Tap that. They're going to ignore this top lane. They're going to look for the engage. But Zilla kind of showing there. And not now deciding against the engage. But this is going to be double camp now. So they did not deal with the camp top or the catapult. They are going to deal with that now. But that's going to enable House of Chez to get even a bigger lead on the burn. So it's just always been where House of Chez has gotten onto the Immortal much quicker. So even though the burn is significantly better on the side of Wood Tap that, now they're showing up to the Immortal. They're starting to get burned. And in that short time, I mean, they get 25%, but it's just... they lost halftime, and now they still have this camp in the bottom lane to deal with. So they really just need to get on and burn. Meanwhile, though, you're seeing House of Chez move for the defense. They know that someone's going to have to deal with bot, and that's their opportunity to engage. So I really like this patient play by House of Chez. They know, look, we have the macro. We have the Caddis top and bot. We have the Bruiser camp down bot, and Yrel's going to have to go clear that, or it's going to take keep. And now, here we go. Here's the engage. So good job by House of Chez. We're seeing Wood Tap that now having to disengage. Need to be careful, though. ETC could separate, but Yrel joined the fight. But keep in mind, this camp has not been dealt with yet. Neither has the catapult. This Immortal already very low. ETC, though, going to get taken out here. And now here's the Cinder Ghost trying to get the re-engage. Once again, the self-unstoppable. Good peel from the Alarak on the no dice. And so they managed to get one kill, but at what cost? This catapult should take this keep down any second now if they're not careful. And already this Immortal low, Li Ming could push it. You're going to have to leave. Yep, keep goes down. And so now you pretty much have to win this Immortal. But with it so low, I mean, it's very difficult to know what to do. Night Knight is going to poke this, but there's no halftime to buy you some breathing room. And so now, are we going to see some poke? Li Ming poking, using the Disintegrate. Root Silence, going to be a miss. But now Vala going to get picked off here. Last right's gonna not even be needed, but worth it for the stacks. And that's putting House of Chez in a very good position to still win this Immortal. 4v4, actually 4v5 now with that Raynor kill. Sorry, I said Volodeth, but that was actually Raynor. Now Stukov getting separated. There's the counter-strike. But this is, once again, House of Chez winning the Immortal. Zilla, good dodge there on that Li Ming orb. Li Ming not able to secure the kill. Oh, Zilla dropping the spray, but that may actually cost him. Oh, what is the, I've been there, I guess, just misaim that skill shot. But anyway, this is a reasonably healthy Immortal. And here we go. This is going to be a very, very difficult defense on the side of Would Tap That. Keep is already down. This Immortal still has shields. There's the massive shove on the ETC, but a turnaround silence on to Stukov. Stukov now having to retreat. Going to try to get the heals out. There's the Syndragosa, not even really hitting many members of the blue team. The Immortal is on the core. The shields are down. There's a big silence though by Stukov. Might enable the re-engage. No, silence is broken. Colonel Pants now trying to move. There's the last rights. Doesn't collect anything. Self-unstoppable there by Malthael. And that is 2 kills. Can they kill this Immortal? 51%. Starfall going to be used to separate out the members of the red team. There comes the orb. But this Immortal goes down. But this core with the catapult there, this catapult's still doing damage to the core. 11%. Blue looks like they might just want to push on and try to go for this. Tyrande stepping up. There's the massive shove though onto ETC, and it looks like ETC and Li Ming gonna have to walk away. But with 7% on the core, backdoor is absolutely a threat. And now at this point, if you are on the side of Would Tap That, you have to get this fort. You have to open up a win condition. Really, it's actually you kind of have to get this fort. You have to open up a win condition where if you 5-man wipe, you go keep, you go core. And right now they're clearing out lanes and doing camps. They need to open up a win condition. It's not there yet. They do get the kill onto Alarak. That's good. Reduces his stacks. But they're going for camps. Hurel was the only one who went top, so now they're going to have even less a chance to open up a win condition. The reason I say they need to burn top is because right now the Immortal will go top, it'll hit the wall, and it'll just slow it down even further. They pretty much have to find a way to end the game in the next few minutes, certainly no later than the next Immortal, and they need to really be taking fights to keep House of Chez on their side of the map. House of Chez right now, though, rotating around. They want to get level 20. Both teams should get level 20 around the same time. But again, with only 7% on the core, it's a backdoor threat at any time. And you got to keep the lanes pushed out. But there's no win condition open right now for the members of Would Tap That. So I'm quite worried about how they're going to be able to get value. And with this Bruiser Camp going to be pushing bot lane as well, with the catapults on every wave, it's going to become a threat. Well, House of Chez, though, going to burn. Now, this is a situation where this is the first time we've actually seen really Would Tap That actually getting their full burn potential up. And they are winning this race, but it's significantly closer than the experts thought. It's only about a 2.8 thousand difference. Meanwhile, though, this Bruiser Camp is in the bot lane, and it is defensive positioning. They would have loved the offensive positioning where they could have stayed on their side to burn, but now, I mean, their core is at 7%, and there's 3 catapults and a camp in this lane. Meanwhile, Malthael dealing with the top lane. They need to send someone back to clear, and they're not doing it. Their core could drop just to minions at this point. Now Hurel does back, but Hyperion used without really any engage being thought of. Li Ming going to push up, try to kind of make the members of Would Tap That panic. Both Immortals about equal health. There's a root onto Flash. Here comes the engage. 5v4 separation onto Malthael. Malthael going with the self-healing. Is the last rights going to get used? The last rights is used. Does go down to it, but so does ETC. But there's the Deathmosh. Alarak coming up with a huge Discord Strike combo. And core goes down to minions. So, you know, just having the better burn doesn't do you any good if you're not getting onto it quick enough. And you just have when you're getting out macroed, as Would Tap That did, they're gonna have a hard time. So, want to come back into game 2, have some better macro if we can get it. As we look at our match summary here, I mean, you have more kills too, even on the side of Would Tap That. But again, you kind of just lose the macro. You kind of lose control of the map like that. You lose so many Immortals, and those kills, they're not going to help you as much as they are on the other team who's winning those objectives and that. So with that, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to jump into map number 2, hopefully map number 2 of 3. But good job there, House of Chez. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to the Nexus Gaming series. DB Smiley here. We are jumping in to Infernal Shrines here between House of Chez and Would Tap That. Match number 2. As House of Chez taking match 1, looking for the domination victory here, but Would Tap That did show signs of life. This is not going to be a blowout series. It wasn't a blowout in the first game. Structurally, the map certainly favored House of Chez. You need to see Would Tap That kind of refocus on their macro play, make sure they get value. The advantage here is the objective can be very powerful the way it jumps over the wall, initiate kills, and you can kind of snowball off that. But this map also has a huge macro component, and as House of Chez continues to out-macro Would Tap That, this map could become very difficult for them. Still, post-level 20 Immortals can just hard win game. So, it could be anyone's game until late. Vala, going to get banned out here by the members of Would Tap That. They're viewing it as first pick, first ban. Kind of surprised by that. But Diablo banned out on the other side. Very, very strong onto this map. As we take a look here. Kind of surprised, I guess, to see Vala that high. As we take a look kind of at the popularity of Vala. Taking a look now. We are loading this, so just give it 1 second here. It doesn't seem to want to load. There we go. Vala, only a 10% popularity last season. I expect that to step up with the health buff, but I don't know if it'll be that much. Still, the Gul'dan going to get banned out here as well. We did see Would Tap That ban that this time, so the teams are set up right. I don't have any errors there. Kind of surprised to see some bans swap sides. Gul'dan, likely a priority for Night Knight. I do know she plays it quite well. But Gul'dan was banned out by Would Tap That last map, so it could be a highly contested hero. Still with the Vala ban, it does also deny that Ariel battery, especially with the Gul'dan ban. There is Jaina. Now, Ariel's up. We do know it's a comfort pick for Caribou. As we take a look here at the stats last season. Caribou, 5 and 6 on the hero, which, not the highest win rate, but it's a very high usage rate. But we are actually going to see Caribou preferring the Stukov here. We're going to see Mariners 005 jump into the Blaze. So he was on Tyrande last match. Did a lot of value. Now Blaze can actually pair well with Stukov. It's a pretty easy stun to follow up on with a root combo. We did not see a root combo picked up by Zilla last game. Do we see Caribou pick it up? I have a feeling we do. We'll see. Night Knight getting onto the Jaina early. We have a Phoenix and an Uther grab. So possibly double support. Uther's an interesting pick. It encourages the members of House of Chez to go sustain damage, but if they go sustain damage, they are opening themselves up to a double support situation. That said, if they last pick it, maybe it's valuable, but we are seeing Uther grab. I haven't really seen much Uther lately without a second support. I would expect to see it, but, I don't know. ETC going to be the ban on the other side, so respecting the ETC, House of Chez picked it last match. But choosing to say, you know what? We don't want it. They could have taken it. They have the next picks. We just don't want the enemy team to have it. So what are they thinking for their tank? Are they maybe wanting to go... well, Joanna's taken. Do they maybe want to get Muradin and go for that kind of hyper-aggression? Alarak banned out on the other side. Trying to get that out of the hands of Flash, I believe, played the Alarak last game. Interesting, though. ETC, expect him to take a step up in popularity. We haven't really seen the most ETC last season. 28% probability. He definitely wasn't in that top tier group of tanks selected, but I see no Anub'arak ban. Anub'arak is up, but we are going to see a variant. Now, Anub could be taken. I think it's a good pick. I think you do take Anub for your tank. Question is, do you go with second support? Do you go maybe Monk? For like a damagey second support, you get Block Party with Greymane. That could be okay. Or not Block Party, Earth Ally. We do see the Muradin tank. And Urel. So it is a solo support Uther. So at this point, I think of something like, even Lunara, just something very heavy sustained damage with a lot of potential for AoE. As once again, we see Urel picked up here by Colonel Pants. Shadona's going to get murdered. And I think you need something sustained damage, maybe even something pokey. Normally I would say Li Ming, but Kael'thas is up. If you play Kael'thas, this could be a time to take him. Orphea. Orphea is a great pick. Orphea is really good on this pick. I almost like would have something maybe pokier and more sustainier, but we'll have to see. Uther's going to be in. This is an interesting matchup. I think Uther's a lot better at healing than people give him credit for, but he is a pretty low throughput healing, so we'll see. Gonna be surprised as we head into this draft. But before we do, let's even just take a look how much Uther even saw action last season. I can't pull up things like how much he was used as solo support versus double, but only a 10% popularity rate last season. But as we take a look, now, I mean, we're going to see Zilla on it. Do we even have any record with Zilla on this hero? I'm curious now. Kind of want to see this. No, Zilla did not have any games last season on Uther, but we are going to see it. So I'm excited for that, but we are going to head into the match. It's going to be House of Chez versus Woodtap. That game 2. Looking for the domination is House of Chez as we introduce them. Going to be Flash on Orphea. It's going to be Caribou on Stukov. We're going to have no dice on not Stukov. Excuse me. It's going to be, forgive me there. It's going to be no dice on Varian. That's my apologies. Or Chez Mix on Varian. Sorry, no dice on Orphea. And Mariner going to be on Blaze. Sorry about that, everyone. Up on the other side, Colonel Pants on Urel. We're going to have Zilla on Uther. We're going to have Barcode on Phoenix. Night going to be on Jaina. And Shadonis is going to be on the Muradin. Level 1 talents here. Varian going to go with that Lion's Claw. I expect the Taunt Varian. We are seeing the E-build Stukov. That's a pretty good combo. Taunt into Root combo. It's basically impossible to miss with a good Taunt. Yeah. Yeah, they did draft a bit of dive with the Greymane and the Orphea. I was kind of a bit surprised by that. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen something with a little bit more poke. But we'll see. We'll see. Uther is, by the way, going to the Q build, and I think that's the right pick. Just because if you don't go Q build, you really don't have mana. It's just difficult to have mana. But nothing too surprising with talents I'm seeing. I mean, I don't know all these heroes super well. This is a bit strange. Advanced targeting picked up by Phoenix. I have not really seen this talent before. Going with that Q build, possibly trying to punish the 4 melee. You know, we'll see. I'm interested. They have piqued my interest. But Greymane already doing Siege Camp. Yeah, I expected Varian main tank Blaze off lane. I expect this to be a taunt Varian. I absolutely expect this to be a taunt Varian. I will be very surprised if it's not. Stukov and taunt Varian go together like peanut butter and chocolate. You taunt the target, and the duration of the stun is perfect for landing root combos. It's impossible to miss it. So you get just, I mean, they're effectively silenced that entire period. And then they're rooted after that, and so it's effectively a root silence you with the taunt. I don't expect C Smash, because it's a CC thing. If you're going Stukov, what you want with Stukov is a lot of lead-in CC. You want someone to just hold someone in place for 1.25 seconds. And the reason I say 1.25 seconds is if you are perfect on your execution, because there's a 1 second warm-up on your silence, that's basically how long it takes to land a root combo, is 1.25 seconds. So if you get the taunt, very doable. I see Stukov going with E, low blow. I expect root combos are on the menu. Biotic Armor picked up to deal with this Phoenix damage, although Phoenix really going kind of an ability damage build with this advanced targeting, so we'll see what happens there. Usually when you see Biotic Armor, it opens up the possibility for Universal Carrier later, so I'll see if we get that. But so far, both teams just rotating, getting their camps. Camps are equalized up in the top lane. Here comes the engage now. No dice. Quite a bit low, as is Chez Mix. Both teams really hard engaged, blow their loads. Nobody walks away satisfied. Sounds like my Friday nights. As already, Shrine getting started here by the members of House of Chez. They do have the lead. Once again, early objective lead there. Good stun there by Mariners just to slow the invade. But Stukov, everyone backing up, giving Stukov time to heal the team. Smart choice. Getting their taps in. They have the lead. They know they don't need to panic. Now starting to equalize, though, on the Shrine. About equal. We're going to see how the engage comes. It is a taunt variant. There comes the taunt with the silence follow-up, and that silence is absolutely shrekking. Low blow is such a good talent when you get that level of CC. It's not a second because you actually have to go from W to E, and then you have to hit your trait, and that whole combo, the optimal you will see it is 1.25 seconds. But yeah, absolutely fantastic combo there by the members of House of Chez. And now they're going to have an opportunity to push him with the Shrine. We already seen Blaze rotate away. They're going to push up, get this wall, see what they can get, if any more. We are seeing Uther was actually mid, helping Yrel get some clear. Now rotating down. Needs to be careful, though. This is an early Arcane Punisher. So that means the next two, you're not going to have to worry about the Arcane Punisher later. But it does secure a wall, and that could work well. No, it's a 1 second timer on E. It takes 1 second. From the time you hit E to the time it actually deploys the silence, that is a 1 second timer. It feels like an eternity as a Stukov main. Ooh, Flash stepping up into the point, taking a load of Jaina Fire. There's the taunt onto Yrel. Now, possibly a bit of an overcommit. This is a 5v4 situation, but keep in mind this whole time, Blaze pushing up this top lane, getting value for the next Shrine. If they can get out of here, that is House of Chez, this is a huge win, and that is unquestionably a huge win for them. They've gotten a level lead of Soak. We did not see a kill from Wood Tap that. They got some camp pressure in mid, and Blaze continuing to solo Soak top. Going to be a level lead heading into level 10. So Would Tap that, currently falling behind the macro, trying to get some type of engage picks, just not getting there yet. There's a taunt onto Muradin. Muradin manages to get the cleanse from Uther and get away, and that Uther cleanse is going to be important. So it could be that the Uther pick just interpreted, like, they scouted, okay, this is the comp they're going to run. They're going to run taunt root combos, and since we know that they already have the Stukov, they already have the Blaze, if we ban out Varian, they'll just take Muradin. Like, why don't we just get Uther? And then we'll have Cleanse and Divine Shield. We'll have two ways to save from root combo. Could be the idea. If that's the case, it's good scouting to pick that, because that is, Uther is actually the best healer for that type of situation. But right now, level 10's already here for the members of House of Chez. As we see the selections, it is Curse Bullet. It is, ooh, Eternal Feast. Oh, but here it comes, moving in on to Phoenix. Phoenix goes down. Now here comes the engage onto Uther. Combustion gonna go off. Sorry, not Uther, that was Muradin. All short people with hammers look the same to me. Zilla gonna be able to walk away, but great engage with the level 10s. They blow up the Phoenix quick. Now they're going to be able to grab this tower, so long as it's Stukov not taking the shots. That will be bottom fort going down, and already with wall down top, if they win this top Immortal, it's going to do that. Okay, 0.75. Either way, I've timed it, the whole combo, and it is 1.25, because there are some internal cooldowns between W and E, as well as trade. You can maybe get it down to like a second or like 1.1 seconds, but it, like, basically you need hard CC. You're not going to land root combos off like a Joanna Condemn unless you're very, very well communicating it, which you can do, but even then, like, the enemy player can juke if they play it right. There's the taunt onto Colonel Pants. Colonel Pants getting separated. Colonel Pants with the silence goes down. And that's killing Yrel, even through that sacred ground, as, the Ring of Frost was burned, didn't really get the value they want. Divine Storm going to be picked from Uther rather than Divine Shield. I really don't like that pick. But now Would Tap that, seeming like they want to force into this fight. And I think they're just throwing bad money after good here. This is a sunk cost fallacy 101. Someone call an economics professor. Muradin going down there. And they're just, would tap that's making a bad situation worse, unfortunately. Really good comboing here on the side of House of Chez. They know this comp. They're running this comp well. But also just, I think, some questionable macro decisions, and then it seemed like that was just a frustrated decision to stick around. I mean, if you're gonna get Circle Ult, you're gonna get Ardent Defender off, and if you get Ardent Defender off, arguably works even better. Curse Bullet not effective by armor. Yeah, we'll see. But that fort went down super quick thanks to the prep work Blaze did, and here we're seeing just the advantage that macro is going to give, and there's the taunt silence there, and it just with the Curse Bullet with the taunt silence, it doesn't matter. I mean, root combo hasn't even been here, and they've already been getting kills. Now you add Stukov root on top of this, and this is just going to be lights out. Whenever Varian wants, they can pretty much get a kill on cooldown. There's a root following up. There's Divine Storm being blown, swing and a miss. Night Knight getting out with less than 30 HP, but this is going to be a keep falling. Grell and Blaze battling out in the mid, but this is a keep down, and House of Chez absolutely with a huge lead now. And I realize I keep going back and forth between House of Chez and House of Chez, whether or not the Z is silent. I haven't really made up my mind yet what their team name is. It is for me to decide, Kappa. But Colonel Pant's now having to walk away, and things are just going from bad to worse, because now, if you step up to get that soak, you can assume that someone's going to come in and gank you. And with this gank squad, if you're alone, you're dead. If you don't have Uther, you're dead. Mariner getting low, but just going to jet charge out with the oil spill, be impossible to chase. And that is a blue camp stolen, blue camp taken. Now rotating all the camps, just painting the map blue, getting a lot of macro pressure in this top lane. They're going to have catapults every single wave. And getting pressure in this bot lane with a catapult every third wave. So, yeah, good. You always want to follow up on Punisher. That's just like, that's half the reason you get the wall down, is just so you can follow up on Punisher. Because it's a free single target stun that only a handful of heroes in the game can actually dodge. Or nullify, in the case of Joanna. But here comes the combustion, setting up the engage. There's the Divine Storm, though, making things streak twice. Ring of Frost, going to collect a few, but here comes the Eternal Feast. Uther getting root silence. Uther going to go down. Night Knight taking a lot of damage from that Eternal Feast. Muradin does manage to get away, and part of the reason Night Knight got out was because Uther was dead. He was able to heal, but just they don't really seem to have an answer for that combo, and Ring of Frost just not really getting it done at the moment. But here comes an engage onto Urel. There's the root taunt, gets out. There's the armor, still down, and things are just tough right now for Would Tap That. I think they just are having a hard time figuring out how to deal with this engage. And they've tried a few different things and just nothing seemed to work. Oh, yeah, I mean, I could transfer off Orpheus player, but, or I could just not. I don't know. I don't really have a good reason for that. I know I can do that. I just, Ow. Anyway. But now, that's another fort down for House of Chez. They have a quite a large macro advantage. They have level 16. This shrine, I mean, it's a situation where, look, you have a wall. I think you have to just give this shrine and try to soak 16s. And bait the Punisher over a wall, try to kill it, because you're not going to have 16 before the Punisher comes up. I don't think you fight over this shrine right now. Once you have 16, and Uther has Benediction, that could help a lot. But I just don't think you can take this fight without 16. I don't like this call by Would Tap That. I think they need to just go away and soak lanes. They can keep Urel there to scout, but here comes the engage. Urel jumping into the middle. Here comes the taunt. Silence coming in. There's the blaze. Silence on Uther. He's going to go down. Muradin now getting the ghost heals from the Uther. He's going to stay alive. Blaze is low. Great massive shove, or flailing swipe, excuse me, by Stukov. Meanwhile, Night Knight getting focused on the backside. Phoenix goes down in that melee. And really, really good play there by Caribou. Fantastic flailing swipe. And just great heals. But again, without 16, I mean, that's kind of the perfect engage there for the members of would tap that, and they're just not able to get the kill. And this could be GG. No level 16 here to defend. Muradin gonna have to bait over the wall. They need someone to damage the Punisher to bait it over the wall, but it looks like there we go. Finally, damage comes in, but damage came in too late. House of Chez was there by that time, and that is absolutely a combo. Would tap that. Their core is quivering at the moment. This keep is going to drop really fast. Mariners getting a charge there onto Sedonis, but the defense is going to have to be, simply put, miraculous. Punisher comes in onto Phoenix. Phoenix now walking away. Stun there onto Mariners, but here's the Eternal Feast with the taunt onto Sedonis. Sedonis does go down. Salvo going to get some damage, but it's not enough. This core is going to drop, and House of Chez, after a game one where it was kind of close and kind of not close. I walked away thinking if Wood Tap that made better macro decisions, they could have been in that game. This game, it wasn't just the macro, it was also the pickoffs. Wood Tap that just really struggled to find an answer. And House of Chez going to go ahead and grab the domination victory. So we're going to see if we can get a post-game interview. We'll be right back. Stay tuned here to the next game series. Also, it's a doubleheader tonight. I'm going to have another match at 10. So definitely stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. DB Smiley here. I am joined by two members of the victorious House of Chez, Flash and Caribou. How are you guys feeling after that? Yeah, so go ahead and I have a lot to say, I think, about the draft in the second game, and most of it heaping praise. But walk me through the first game. With the draft, what were you guys feeling after draft? Like, given that it looked like there was so much burn on the side of Would Tap that, like, how did you guys kind of prepare for that match? How did you talk to each other to kind of, like, here's our game plan? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you guys definitely went with that team fight comp. Now, It seemed though that ultimately what won you the game, more so than the team fights, I would say, would actually be the macro play. Would you concur with that? And if so, kind of walk me through how you kind of played the macro on that map. All right, and you guys obviously, I think your camp timings were very good. You managed to get a lot of value just with side push, and I think it was really good discipline for everyone to wait until you knew you had the man advantage and push in. You can't hear them. Can you guys speak for a second? I might need to turn you up. Oh boy. 1 second, everyone. I will be right back, and we'll restart this interview in just 1 second here. All right, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, can one of you just speak for a second?
Hello, hello.
All right, good. We have audio now. So apologies. So anyway, after that draft, you guys definitely had a disadvantage in burn. So walk me through your draft strategy for how you ended up planning against that kind of burn. Again, I know I'm asking you to repeat.
No, it's totally fine, and I have like sort of a better answer for you. What was a cross between the first thing I said, which was, they had like a full burn comp, they had double auto attack, so we had to do some sort of team fight or some sort of disruption, but not necessarily lacking on the burn. So we had Li Ming and Tyrande, and even Malthael's somewhat decent burn, so at least we had like some sort of race there. And then the other advantage that we have is that we were always to the objective first, which I think played a lot in our advantage. And then Caribou is going to talk to you about the macro play that was formulated afterwards. But that was also a big thing that really helped us out in that game.
All right. So go ahead with the macro decision making.
Yeah, so as soon as we got since we had the pick comp and getting the pink advantage, we had the advantage of getting the map. So as long as we have the camp controls and they rotate to the camp, it's a man advantage down for them in the objective. So we didn't overcommit until we know that we have advantage on that.
All right. Well, you guys did a good job kind of both setting up the situation where you would always kind of get that macro advantage, because I don't think there was a single situation where you guys had to clear and they didn't. And I think there was only one time where it was a 1-for-1 kind of like both teams have a camp in lane. So the macro play was definitely on point, and you guys did a really good job turning those into immortals. Now heading into map 2, you guys had, let's call it, an aggressive draft. What are your thoughts on that? Did I label it correctly?
Yes, 100%. So that map in particular, we've had a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of success, but we've had success with running like a solo laner, a camper, and a 3-man combo. So like the Varian, Stukov, Orphea, that like could potentially get a pick if we catch somebody out of position. Mm-hmm. So that way we have 2 people on like macro duty and 3 people sort of looming around to sort of scare them a bit. And the good news is we were able to wave clear them early in the beginning, so we were able to get lane advantage pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And they had a hard time catching up from that, so we had to use that as much as we can before we started looking for picks.
Yeah, and as someone who is often called a Stukov one trick, I can say if you ever want to practice root combos, one of the best heroes to pair with is Taunt Varian. But in Storm League, you're never going to get that. Taunt Varian is a rare species.
Right.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's gone the way of the dodo, and instead we just have a bunch of twin blades, wild turkeys running around.
Memes.
Yeah, too many memes. But with that, so you guys get the domination victory. So in your mind now, I believe this takes you to 6 points, 2 domination victories, no losses. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, how do you now foresee the season? Is this like you now view yourselves as like we're a team to beat? I'm not asking you to claim that you're the number one team in the division and any of the baggage that could come with saying that. But do you view yourselves really as like a top tier team that's competing for the top slot in your division?
I think we're looking at it one game at a time. So
Okay.
what's the next game? Let's win that game before we start thinking about the other games.
All right. Well, with that, thank you guys for letting me cast that. Thank you for bearing with the late start. That was
Totally
my
fine.
fault.
It ended up working
But yeah, absolutely. So with that, Flores, your two first shoutouts.
Go ahead, Caribou.
Shout out to the team. Death Icarus, Chess Mix, Mariners, No Dice.
And your captain that's sitting right next to you.
Well, yes, obviously.
Wait, are you guys actually physically seated next to each other?
No, we're not.
Okay, all right.
But we're all friends IRL.
Mhm.
So sometimes we are sitting next to each other.
All right, well, that sounds fun. Well, any last shoutouts or any last comments before you go?
I think we're good.
All right.
Shout out to House Chez.
Awesome. All right, well, it is Chez. Okay, so I said Chez like half the time and Chez like half the time. And I think I had this discussion with your team before. But that's because I'm senile. Anyway, with that, everyone, we're going to take a break for a half hour. I'm going to leave on some Fire Emblem music. We're going to come back, and it's Roll One Esports versus, I believe it's Uncomfortably Numb. Roll One Esports versus Uncomfortably Numb. So we'll be right back. If you enjoy the Fire Emblem music, keep it going, or you can just come back at 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll have it all set up. We'll have it all ready to go, and you can check out some of the other Nexus Gaming Series casters on right now. We'll see you here in about 34 minutes, everyone. Take care.